I sat with you in Ohio doing that live lounge special, which I think was possibly 5 or 6 years ago now.
It was a long time ago, though. It's one of those perfect times where it either seems like, wait, that was just the other day, but then you realize, oh no, it felt like 50 years ago too. So
talk to me about, I guess, this new energy that you have for like making records, because you took a bit of time, which I think is always good. There's no point like, banging out record after record after record. Does it feel different this time around?
there is some difference, obviously, getting older. I've got a family now, trying to balance out. When it was just me and, I had no responsibilities and all I wanted to do was make music. My dad said, one day you'll grow up. And I think he was talking about my sleep schedule and my just, staying up all night. And I think it's finally come around to me now. I do go to bed and I do get up in the morning now and still fit in creativity inside of that window. And in fact, in some ways, it's more effective. It's more efficient.
Why overcompensate to sort of, I guess, start this new journey with the fans?
There's a lyric in the chorus that talks about a dangerous bend symbol, and it's a certain sign. It's like a zigzag sign that basically says, hey, up ahead, slow down. There's a sharp turn. And I just remember thinking, it's kind of cheesy, I guess, but a bit of an analogy in certain seasons of my life where I would just completely ignore those sorts of signs and just, go full speed ahead and kind of learn the hard way in some ways. So a bit of that overcompensating is, overcorrecting your steering when trying to get back on course. And, it's interesting. I think in the UK, your dangerous bend symbol is slightly different than over here in the States. But just so you guys know, I was thinking of the one in the UK when I wrote it, and so not here. And it wasn't until afterwards I was driving in my hometown and realized, oh, that's way different. That one's big and yellow, and the other one's kind of like a triangle. It's way cooler looking. So I think you guys have cooler signs over there.
Tyler, I'm going to confess something to you, my love. I don't know how to drive. So anything you said, even my producing team was just sort of like, Clara, look, where I grew up, I've only ever ridden a bike or walked. Like, sue me, I'm looking after the planet. How about that?
Other than a few analogies that you can draw in your life, that's about it.
I remember during our conversation when we were hanging out in Ohio and you were talking about songs and like a theory that, isn't it fascinating that there's a certain amount of notes and like, it's quite interesting how just picking a finite amount can like make a song. And then there's that theory of like maybe, you only get access to a limited amount of notes in your lifetime. I don't know if you remember that conversation. Like, have you had that approach with this upcoming album as well? Like, are you finding like a new well of notes or?
I describe it as plucking out of two different pools of infinity. The first pool is the nothing to something, where there was at one point no song and now there's a song. The creativity is sparked, you create something out of thin air. And then there's this other pool of infinity, it's how to dress it up, how to record it. What's the structure, what instrument should be used in communicating the song, and that's the part that takes a long time. I've been worked on this record for a year, and there were times where I asked myself, is it supposed to be this hard? Is it supposed to take this long? And I have to remind myself, the part that actually takes really long is the how to dress it up part.
Right on. And now, look, I know it did take a year, but a year well worth it, because the new album's coming in May. It's called Clancy. I don't want to ask, what can fans expect? Because obviously they're going to expect a 21 Pilots record, but that can sound like anything.
Clancy is it's kind of our protagonist in the story that we've been telling, and we've kind of been stretching this story out over the course of the last several records, actually. Clancy is the type of character who, for a long time, didn't know if he was a leader or not, didn't really want to take responsibility for it, and I think specifically this song Overcompensate being the first song on the record, it's going to be the first song we play live when we start, touring. There's a bit of a confidence in it and a bit of a swagger in it that the character really needed to embody in order to take on the new role that the story that we've been telling. And Clancy's going to kind of like rise up as that person.
Thank you so much, Tyler, for your time. And yeah, let's run it again. This is tonight's hottest record coming from the album Clancy, brand new 21 Pilots. This is Overcompensate.
This